Do it again, do it again.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again. This is episode 17 of the Other People podcast. I am your host, Jordan Royter, joining me once again and always, and in less corporeal form, is my good friend, Andy Bean.
Boo, people. Boo.
Yes. So, today's discussion is something kind of near and dear to our hearts, as I think it would be with anybody. Something that is a part of our childhood and very much a part of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
The Simpsons!
Dun, 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 dun,
Da-da-da-da. Here's an important question. Now, I imagine your answer will probably be the same as mine. When did you stop watching The Simpsons?
Oh,
Was it probably about the same time I did, or was it after?
yeah. Like, right around 1999, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like an odd episode that I liked back in high school, but
Yeah.
usually about my senior year in high school, which was 1999.
Yeah. Because yeah.
It was about the time that I would kind of lost interest.
Yeah, because I know my family and I that we, we used to watch it regularly. Like whenever a new episode was aired, we were often there. And I remember we stopped watching, or at least I stopped watching just about the time after I finished high school, which is about 14 years ago. I haven't really caught a new episode since. I've seen little bits, like I saw part of.
Mostly I would just watch the Treehouse of Horrors,
Mm-hmm.
and because those right up until the last couple of ones were good.
I know I saw one some odd years ago. I was hanging out with Brett, and we stopped by at Brandon and Shearston's to pick up something real quick, and they just happened to have The Simpsons on, and they were playing one of the Halloween episodes, and it was, and it was just the introduction for it, and I didn't think it was funny at all.
Yeah, I think sadly they tried to keep up with what Family Guy was doing.
I don't necessarily think it was that. I've been reading a lot. I'm on the Wikipedia page. For a show that's been on the air for so long, they've been on the air for 25 years. It is basically one of the longest running animated primetime TV shows. I don't know if a show
after that long they just finally started running out of ideas.
Well, there is that. There have been a few other critics that I've been reading who have said that the show lost its heart a long time ago. Because if you go back to seasons 1 to 3, there was a lot of character-driven stuff, and it was more based in reality. There was no...
the humor was there, but it was much more kind of like a family drama.
Yeah. Where...
the humor was much subtler.
Yeah. Where it was very character-driven.
Yeah.
And they were drawn to be fairly realistic. There was allowed to be quite a bit of humor there, but the humor was wanted to be handled very realistically. Now that's really not a case at all. It's like there's no more character-driven plots. Everything is just Homer doing another zany scheme, or just something utterly ridiculous like that.
And just me going back here just yesterday and a little bit today, watching the first 2 seasons,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just very much to where he wasn't actually trying to get into these zany things. He just kind of got thrust into them.
Yeah.
Like the best one in like season 1, to where Flanders bought an RV, so Homer decided to go out and get an RV of his own. Well, of course, his credit was bad to get a really good one. Wound up with a crappy one, and they ended up actually crashing it because he wasn't paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
And he wound up in the woods, and he fell into like a mud puddle at some point, getting away from bees.
Yeah.
And people started mistaking him for Sasquatch.
Yeah. Is there any chance that I could have some applesauce?
And
Lord help me, I'm just not that bright. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was this kind of the thing, to where he was this kind of an average guy,
yeah,
more or less, just trying to deal with things.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, he was an average guy. I mean, yeah, he could be lazy, but he wasn't a jerk. He did love his family. He cared about his family. I mean, hell, you see that full on in the very first episode in season 1. He just wanted everybody to have a really great Christmas. And so he worked his ass off for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he did get really screwed over for it, but...
Hey, they got a dog out of it.
Yeah. Yep, they did. And which is funny, because I remember for the longest time how everybody, including us, would often say, man, those early seasons of The Simpsons were just terrible. They weren't funny.
Yeah, but like in retrospective now, we actually look back at it and just go like, oh, I actually prefer the first few seasons.
I will admit, while in terms of humor and such,
it's not as zany as the others.
No, but
the humor is there, but it is very muted.
Yeah.
But just for the character development alone, I actually rather prefer it.
Mm-hmm. The character development and the writing is a little bit. It is certainly a lot more character driven in the very early seasons. It is still there for some of the later seasons, i.e., the season 4 and such, which a lot of people have labeled season 4 as being like the best season of The Simpsons, and I do have to agree with that. Because that is a season I can just go back to and just rewatch constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Without I don't really like this episode. This episode's really not that funny. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because there are seasons in the early episodes that are hard to watch. Namely because there's not a lot of humor to them. There's a lot more character to it.
Yeah.
There can be some funny bits, but not a lot of them.
And just I guess it's kind of hard to explain a little bit, but there's the humor is there, but it's kind of more like everyday humor, like we would find in real life, rather.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, at the same time, I think a lot of other people would complain that season 4 was right about the time when The Simpsons jumped the shark.
Yeah.
Because that was when things got really ridiculously zany, like the monorail episode. Just the way the episode ends is ridiculous.
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy getting beamed up for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
Leonard Nimoy beaming out the popsicle stick skyscraper, the 50-foot magnifying glass, and the escalator to nowhere.
Nowhere. And then, of course, the whole monorail song.
Yeah, that too. There were a lot of quite zany episodes, but I think, I know those were ones that were written by Conan, Conan O'Brien, who, I'm just saying that for the show. who wrote on The Simpsons, I think only in season 4. I know he produced probably season 3, 4, and a little bit of 5, because one of his episodes was pushed over to season 5, the Homer Goes to College episode. And, and currently I own seasons 1 through 7, I believe, on DVD. I'm still trying to remember and think like, when exactly did I stop watching?
I know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like it's always been there.
Yeah. Because there's always like all sorts of really good stuff that you can find, on the DVD episodes, namely just in terms of commentary. I think the season 3 DVD is probably my most hated, not because of quality or anything like that. It's because, and this is going to sound like such a nitpicky thing, but when you start at the DVD, before you even get to the main menu, you have to go through this stupid little game with it first, where
kind of like how they did it in season 2, where you actually have to spin the thing to get everybody's head to match first.
Yeah. Wait, what? Was that season 2? I thought that was season.
Yeah,
2.
that was just season 2 because I just started watching that today.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, wait a minute, where the heck's the menu? What the heck is this thing? Oh, I gotta spin this thing until their fucking heads match? Okay.
Yeah.
Before it even got me to the menu.
Yeah. Yeah. That was such a stupid idea. Who the hell thought of that?
I don't know.
Thankfully, they didn't do anything like that for any of the other DVD releases. But they did add quite a few more features, namely, the animated introductions and backgrounds and such that you'll see during the main menus and such, and more particularly for a lot of the later seasons. And just all the commentary that they do for them too is always a lot of fun, and just it's just very interesting. What would you say is probably your favorite season?
Probably 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's been so long since I've actually watched them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right off the top of my head, I gotta say season 4. It has to be my favorite. 2 particular episodes really stand out. There's, I think it's, I believe it's called Homer Sabbath, or whatever it's called, where it's Homer, where he stops going to church.
Oh, yeah.
And I just love how it starts, because like his reasons for not going to church are very simple and easy. For one thing, it's butt fuck cold outside, so who the hell really wants to go outside in the freezing snow? And for somebody who does work all the time, and since Sundays usually are like my one day off, yeah, I would rather want to sleep in on Sunday too. So
don't want to spend it in some church listening to how you're going to go to hell.
Yeah. Oh, come on, God! I'm not a bad guy. I work hard, and I love my kids. So why should I spend half my Sunday hearing about how I'm going to burn in hell? You have a good point there. And then there's the Whacking Day episode.
Oh, whacking day,
whacking day. And I'm sure there are a bunch of others that really do stick out. There's Duffless.
Dave kind of seems to be everybody's personal favorite.
Yeah. And the plot for that episode doesn't really come up until like Act 2, which is like after Bart gets expelled.
Yeah.
And there's the Duffless episode that's on there as well. There's there's Camp Krusty. There's just all sorts of really good stuff on there.
Yep.
What are some other personal favorites for you?
Well, the only one that sticks out is the first Treehouse of Horrors episode.
Mm-hmm. That was season 2, right?
That was season 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like episode 3 of season 2.
Yeah, where
they did the first ever House of Horrors.
Yeah, where it's just them, just like up in the tree house, just trying to scare each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like the last story, just the.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Raven.
Alan Poe. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great interpretation of that story. Especially, I mean, so much so that in my high school English class, when we read The Raven, my teacher originally she rented a movie that was supposed to be related to the Edgar Allan Poe poem, The Raven. It was this old movie starring Vincent Price and a few other actors, including a very young Jack Nicholson.
Price did a lot of Edgar Poe stuff.
Oh yeah. The movie was fucking weird. It had no relation to The Raven, other than the fact that it had a raven in it, and it was called The Raven. It had no relation to the story at all. Instead, it's about these two guys that are wizards, and like Vincent Price's wife in the movie, Lenore, who's supposed to be dead. No, she's not really dead. She was just with the bad guy the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking weird, and it was really dumb, and apparently, it was also a comedy. I mean, it was so bad that like after it was over, I asked her, there's this Simpson episode that does The Raven and does it really well, and she's, really? He's like, yeah, and it's and it's actually tied to the book, and she let me bring it in, and we just watched that episode. Yeah, and plus, I mean, how can you not go wrong when you have James Earl Jones narrating it?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you have Darth freaking Vader narrating The Raven.
Yeah.
I don't know about any more though. I mean, the last few times I've heard his voice, I don't know. I mean,
he is getting kind of old, so.
Yeah. And, oh god, I mean, the last time he played Darth Vader, it was a fucking joke. Fuck you, George Lucas. Anyway.
I'm glad you're not involved in the latest Star Wars thing.
Yeah. The first and only time we can actually be glad that a property was sold to somebody else. So there was a lot of that. Let me see this. What's your favorite Treehouse of Horror episode then?
The only one that sticks out in my mind is the one to where they were doing the Harry Potter thing, and Bart turned this frog into a mutated prince thing.
I have that clip on my computer too.
Yeah, that's the only one that sticks out. I mean, it's been years since I've seen any of this. That's why only the first one sticks into my mind, because that's the only one I've seen recently.
Yeah. I think for me, it's either the episode when when they're all at the Simpsons house doing a Halloween party, and they just start just telling stories to each other. There was the Clown Without Pity, which is the parody of Chucky, and
oh yeah,
and there was another movie that kind of did the same thing. I think it was called Trilogy of Terror or something like that, where it was this like voodoo puppet with these sharpened teeth who was trying to kill you. That was weird.
Yeah.
But the episode
That's the
itself
one that had
was
the
great.
zombies in it as well.
Yeah, that was Dial Z for zombies.
Yeah.
And then the middle one was King Homer.
Oh yeah.
My favorite joke in there has to be in the Clown of Pity sketch, where it's Homer in the bathtub and he's singing the baloney song. But he does it wrong. My baloney has a first name. It's Homer. My baloney has a second name. It's Homer.
It's like, wait a minute.
Like, he's so freaking stupid, he just says his first name again, because that's how stupid he is. Oh. And
Clarence, the hook's trying to, the doll's trying to kill me.
the toaster's laughing at me. Ew, dog water.
Dog water.
Your doll is trying to kill my husband. Yes, I'll hold. Everybody loves a clown, but why don't you? Yep, it is your problem. Someone set this thing to evil. Wow, really? So that's your resolution? Ah, fuck it.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Well, especially since it all turned out to be a dream anyway.
It didn't turn out to be a dream. It was, they were just telling stories to each other.
That's the one where they did the fog that turns people inside out as well.
No, that was I think that was season 5 or season 6. Was how that one ended. What were the episodes of that one? There was Nightmare Cafeteria was that one, and Nightmare on Springfield Street, where it was Willie who was playing Freddy.
Oh yeah, okay.
And what was the first sketch? Oh yeah, the 50-foot eyesores or something like that, where it was like all the advertisements came to life and started killing and just attacking the city.
Yeah.
And it all started because Homer wanted a colossal donut, and so he stole the Lard Lad's donut, and that just randomly just brought it to life. Homer, just give him the donut. Once he has it, that'll be the end of all this horror. Well, okay, this will end horror. And then he gives it back to him, and he's just like, fuck it. And just goes around and just starts smashing shit, and Homer just stares at him and goes, don't you ever get tired of being wrong all the time? Sometimes.
That's the one to where it turns out Ned Flanders is the devil.
Yeah, that was, I think that was season 4, I think was that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The devil? Always the one you least expect. Who is that? Prince of Darkness, I believe he's here at 11 o'clock.
I mean, there were so many great classic episodes that you can just bring to mind. Just a single quote. It's sad though. Now, and I haven't watched a new episode at all. I've been kind of tempted to, but at the same time, like, I know, like, I'm going to turn it on, I'm going to watch it, just be like, this is not funny, this is just terrible. It lacks, like, any, I've wondered, like, for the longest time, like, why can't I enjoy, like, any new Simpsons episode? And there were quite a few critics who pointed out, like, there's no heart anymore. There's no emotion. It's become just another zany cartoon show. You know, I mean, it's kind of done what Family Guy's done.
It becomes block.
Yeah, it's become, hey, how ridiculous and zany can we be for this half hour?
Yeah.
Now, Family Guy, I mean, they already kind of hit that mark.
Yeah, but there was a little bit of heart to it in it on the first few episodes of it, and then it ramped up really quickly.
Mm-hmm. Well, like Family Guy's thing was that they were already pretty wacky. They just got wackier, and then sometime after that, they just stopped caring, and every episode, and like every episode after that, just felt like they were just giving you a giant middle finger and just saying, we don't have to do anything, so go fuck yourself. We don't even have to be funny.
And it's like, yeah, you guys will watch this shit anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it felt. And then The Simpsons, I mean, I don't know how to explain it either. It's just, the humor was just kind of random. And like and as a few other people have pointed out on this Wikipedia article that I have, is that they stopped doing any main character developed storylines. I mean, I think the only other one that I can recall was one that came up a couple of years ago, where Lisa was doing a little bit of family history, and she began to fear that she was going to be stupid and useless, just like her brother and father, because that was kind of how the tree line.
A couple of years ago. That's like almost 10 years ago or more.
Yeah. And even that was not a very good episode. You know, because the characters changed so radically. I mean, Homer used to be, you know, a hard-working man, you know, who loved and cared about his family. Now he's just a complete and utter jackass who really doesn't give a shit about his family. Marge, she's kind of overworked and really ignored. I think that's kind of always kind of been her character.
Yeah, but you could kind of tell that there was like some heart to her a little bit, and to where she was kind of domesticated. Yeah. But at the same time, like one thing to where Lisa, like I think episode 3 of season 1, where Lisa was like, no, it wasn't even episode 3. It was like episode 5, season 1, where Lisa was just sad. She didn't really have any reason. She was just sad. And it kind of ended with, you know, Marge kind of going back into a memory of her childhood where her mother just made her smile, regardless if she felt like smiling or not. Yeah. So she tried that with Lisa, and she just kind of saw like how everybody was like accepting of her, and it kind of seemed like there were some people who were, you know, maybe taking advantage of her because of that. And that was just it. They were taking advantage of her, wanting her to do her homework, and she was like, okay. I'll just keep smiling. And Marge just kind of finally, it's like, Lisa, if you want to be sad, be sad. When you get out of it, we'll be here. Yeah. But for now, if you want to be sad, just be sad.
Yeah. Yeah. That episode, I know that's not the actual episode that you were thinking of, because the one where Lisa was really, really, really sad for no reason, that's the same episode that she met Bleeding Gums Murphy.
No, that was the one that I was thinking of.
Okay, because because at the same time, Homer is having his problem with Bart, where they're playing this video game, and Bart keeps on beating him.
Yeah.
And
it's the same episode.
Yeah, that episode, at the same time, you know, I mean, with Lisa's problems, and then when she kind of starts singing about them, are complete and utter bullshit.
Yeah,
like I like.
it's just saying because even if Clean Guns, like you played the blues pretty good for somebody who doesn't have any real problems.
Yeah, like how. I mean, I know this is gonna sound again. This is gonna sound really nitpicky. How when she's singing about her problems, she mentions how her mom gave her last cupcake away, and it's like, she told you she had only two, and you told her, just take
Just
mine.
give it to them.
A cupcake is not going to give me any pleasure. It's like, you told her to give it away.
Yeah, she
You
didn't
told her
exactly
to.
give it away.
You told her to. That's on you, bitch. And then she also complained about how her brother was always bothering her every day. It's like, well, he didn't bother you that day. In fact, he tried to actually kind of bring you out of your.
Yeah, he kind of tried to cheer you up.
Yeah, and you were being a bitch. Now, and I can understand, having bouts of depression. Hell, I have it happen
all the time.
Often. Yeah, I don't try to take my depression out on anybody. In fact, hell, I mean, if I ever am like really depressed, I do try to find something to help cheer me up, to bring me out of my bad mood or whatever, which is usually brought on either by a memory or a feeling, maybe something that some jackass online, decides to say to me like, oh, you're a piece of shit and everything you do has absolutely no meaning. Go fuck yourself, you fag. I hope you die. And it's like, oh, well, shit. Well, now I feel like crap. Thanks, asshole. And yeah, that was their intention. Because they need to feel better about themselves. So, hey, so why not? And, and so I'll either do two things. Either I'll try to cheer myself up, by watching something, that's going to make me laugh, whatever. Obviously, trying to talk about it can help. But there's always the lingering thought that's always still on your head that just continues to echo in your brain that will then kind of sink you back into depression. Or if
talking about it can help, but at the same time, sometimes it's just best just to let the damn thing lie, and you'll get out of it eventually on your own.
That doesn't really tend to work. But I do understand what you're saying. The rest of the time, what will happen, because when you get depressed, you have no energy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're just depleted. You feel really, really tired. You feel really, really sad at the same time. And a lot of the time when that happens, I'm thinking, I want to lie down. I want to go to sleep, and I just want to disappear, for a while. And that sucks. I mean, it sucks because it's not very productive, and it's you just giving in to your problems.
Yep.
Now, and like maybe a little bit of rest, can be good, because once you do that, then you're kind of over it, and you're like, well, yeah, I mean, I feel a little bit better now, kind of, sort of. Maybe that's not healthy, but I mean, it is a hell of a lot better than what some other people do to treat it. Getting back to
we kind of got off topic here a little bit.
But that's okay. That happens.
We do that though.
Bart's character, he hasn't really changed much. I think the only thing that they've done to really change him is that he becomes a bit more effeminate from time to time. I think is the only thing that they've added to him. Is the question of,
so it's kind of like the Stewie effect. It just kind of progressively made him more gay.
Yeah, well, Stewie.
Well, not necessarily more gay, but kind of. I don't know.
Well,
maybe more bi.
Well, in Stewie's case, they made him gay.
Oh yeah.
He is a homosexual. Now, there's nothing wrong with being homosexual. I mean, hell, I'm bisexual.
Not what I'm saying at all.
well, yeah. I just want to clarify. I mean, first of all, let me just say this because I don't give a shit. I'm bisexual. So I'm just throwing that out there. And I mean, when you have a character on a television show make a joke about how he gave a blowjob to somebody, they're gay.
Oh, yeah.
They are gay. I mean, that's all there is to it. Once you have a dick in your mouth, you're gay. Yeah, I mean, that's all there is to it. And again, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
It's a life choice. That's your choice. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, no matter what sort of scumbag, tries to tell you. There's nothing wrong with it.
Or certain people of the Christian religion.
Yeah.
Get the choice. You can choose not to be gay. It's just like, no. Dude,
no.
You can't. You're born that way. You're either gay or you're not.
I will heal you from your gayness by slapping you in the head. Well, now I just feel like slapping you for no real reason.
Or as someone's like, I'll heal you by your gayness by making you suffer more gayness.
This brings us into that kind of very same episode where Homer thought that Bart was gay, and so he was trying to turn him straight. First off, he sits him in front of a cigarettes billboard. And then later, he took him out to a steel mill, which turned out all of the workers in there were gay.
Yeah.
Listen up, all of you. I want all of you to say hello to the Simpsons. Hello? Has the whole world gone insane? Stand still. There's a spark in your hair. Oh, get it. Hot stuff coming through. I could quote that entire damn episode. That's
how many times
I've seen that. And that's the same episode that stars, I forget his name. He was a director. He was a filmmaker, and he was a very prominent gay man in the Hollywood industry. Made a whole bunch of movies. Pink Flamingos. Was it Big Boys Don't Cry? Was the name of his movie? I can't remember. Or no, it was I believe it was Cry Baby. He also made Hairspray and a whole bunch of movies. John Waters.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the guy's name? I mean, he's this guy who works, in this, in like this little, like secondhand, trading goods store that Homer kind of befriends, and then finds out like, oh, he's gay, and suddenly Homer turns out like Homer's homophobic, which character-wise, I can't see Homer ever being homophobic.
Well, not the early Homer anyway.
No. I mean, I don't think the early Homer.
But like later on, and then you get like Ned Flanders basically coming up to him and it's like, "And you, Homer, you're the worst human being I've ever met in my life."
Yeah.
True. By then he was.
Oh yeah. I mean, Homer never liked Flanders.
Yeah, I know.
Well, and like he didn't like him, because he was nice all the time. He liked him because Homer always felt like, because originally Homer always felt like Flanders was taking like everything better that Flanders had and just kind of like shoving it in Homer's face. Like, oh hey, I have a better family.
In a way, he kind of was.
Well, and like he wasn't
he didn't realize that he was, but he was.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to remember what was the episode when Flanders finally snapped?
I can't remember, but it was like either mid 2000s or early 2000s when a hurricane like this came through, spared everybody's houses but his.
Yeah.
This utterly destroyed his house, and the community got together and they rebuilt it, but they rebuilt it wrong. Really
crappy.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And he was just like, okay, Flanders, they did their best. It was like,
can't you freaking morons do anything right?
Right. He just, whoa.
Yeah. And really, and there are two things that come to my mind when I think about that episode. I can understand him snapping, but at the same time, like, that's probably the first time the Community has ever, tried to do something really nice for him. Yeah, they didn't really do it right or properly.
Very well, but
they did
still,
do it.
the effort was there, man.
Yeah. I want to think that was season 7, but I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. That might have been.
I'm thinking it's kind of more closer to season 8 to 10.
Yeah. I'm actually looking through the episode list for season 7. There was a king size Homer episode when he becomes like morbidly obese.
Oh yeah.
Just so they can get on the workman's comp, so he doesn't have to go into work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Mother Simpson when his long lost mother returned. We gotta talk about the Sideshow Bob character, of course.
Oh yeah.
Voiced by Kelsey Grammer, who and Bob was. He may have been an early character. He just wasn't a very prominent character.
Yeah, until they kind of made him a villain, he really wasn't there. He was just kind of there.
Yeah, I mean, he was just more or less just in the background. It wasn't until, and I don't even remember when exactly that episode was. I mean, I know.
I think it was like either the beginning. Here, I can look it up here real quick.
All right.
But I actually have both seasons here. I can look it up here on the. I think it was like either the end of season 1 or the beginning of season 2.
Yeah.
When they actually made him a villain, but
I'm pretty sure it was season 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it was season 1. It was like the second to last episode of season 1.
Yeah.
Krusty gets busted.
Yeah. A voice that you would not think would come out of a character like that, who's oh hey, I'm the wacky sidekick to this clown. Like, oh, but you see, but I'm actually rather verbose, and I'm very well educated, and I have a voice that is perfect for reading Shakespeare. And it worked very well, and then it turned out like, oh, I'm an evil mastermind son of a bitch, and and
he like tried to kill Bart on several occasions. Of course, my personal favorite, I think, was the one there on the boat where there was this rows of
Cape Fear episode.
Yeah, this rows of rakes, and he just kept.
You know how that joke basically came to be was that they were going through the editing process, and the show kept on coming up about like a minute or two short. And it was like, God damn it, how is this still short? Well, okay, let's just add in some more jokes. And the extended rake scene was basically one of those jokes that they added in.
Well, it worked.
Yeah. I think by today's standards, that is something, I mean...
it's kind of expected, but back then...
Yeah. Well, what I mean is that if we saw a joke like that today, we would go like, oh, Jesus Christ, just get on with it. Yeah, I mean, this was funny the first time. Now it's just really, really repetitive and stupid. Yeah. But I mean, that still kind of holds up today, though. Yeah. Thankfully.
Well, because it was kind of one of the first times they'd done that, and it really wasn't that long. Yeah, it's not like a Family Guy skit to where it like goes on for like 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah, true. I haven't. I'm trying to think of like what was the last long-running joke that I saw on Family Guy that really just annoyed the crap out of me. And this was kind of an old one. Was the dumpster baby joke? Where it was.
Oh, yeah, where they just started singing for...
Yeah, and it just kept on going and going. And so it's like, this isn't related to what's going on in the plot at all. This was just a cutaway joke, and you're lingering on the cutaway joke.
Of
course.
The one that comes to mind is the frog, when he's trying to get rid of the frog, and it's just...
Yeah, that too.
Oh, dear God, just get the pick up the damn frog and throw it out the window already.
And I can understand the joke. Like they're wanting to relate it to something that, if this happened in real life, this is probably how you would handle it too. Simpsons did that better.
Yeah, and actually, quite frankly, I think at that point, most people would just be like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, what would you say, and this might be a difficult question to ask, this was kind of a difficult question for me to figure out as well. Favorite Simpsons character?
I'd have to say Sideshow Bob.
Really?
Yeah, just something about that voice and all evil and
yeah,
the whole genius thing. Just it works for me.
Mm-hmm. Who would you say is the character that you probably most relate to?
Early Homer.
Mm-hmm. I was actually going to say that too. Early Homer for me. That is a guy that I can really relate to.
I never really related to Bart, even when I was Bart's age.
I kind of did when I was a kid. Granted, I too was nothing like Bart when I was a kid.
Yeah, and you weren't quite that bad. It's like, I could be a little bit of a smartass every now and then. I think most of us are guilty of that when we were kids, but not nearly to Bart's extent.
No. Yeah. Favorite character overall, though, for me, God, I don't know if I can answer that because, there are so many, there are so many great and just really, really ridiculous characters out there. You got Krusty, you got Sideshow Bob, you got Police Chief Wiggum, you got Ralph, you got Principal Skinner, you have Apu. You have,
Apu would definitely, for me, be a close second to Sideshow Bob.
Yeah. The whole Simpsons family. You got the Flanders family. And here's something that we have to touch on. I remember when I heard about them doing a Simpsons movie some odd years ago. My first thought was, why are you doing one now? Why didn't you do it back when the show was good? But then
at least the movie was good.
But then there was I remember there was a clip on like one of the DVD episodes that had like a minute or so of footage from the movie. It was very rough animation. It was the scene when Homer is riding through the snow with the sled dogs. Mush, jump, land, rest. And then when they got to the punchline, like all the wolves, just ganging up on him and biting him and then running off, and him going, "Oh, why does everything I whip leave me?" So it's like, wow, that was actually kind of funny, huh? And then the first official kind of teaser trailer for it dropped, where it was Homer and Bart they were up on the roof, and instantly I knew, like, he's gonna hit his thumb with the hammer or something like that. No, they do like a complete right turn. For,
because you're sitting here thinking, because he's got his thumb on the nail.
Yeah.
And like, steady. And he's like, oh, Christ, he's really just going to do this. Ah, my eye! And he's like, okay, that was unexpected and funny.
Yeah. And of course, made you start thinking like, maybe this will actually be a good movie. And then I remember I went with my brother to go check it out, and I thought the movie was great. I thought it was absolutely perfect. It had both a a lot of really great and well-written humor, and it had the character writing in there too.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. It's like it brought the character back to the old show, from the old show.
Well, not completely.
Yeah, Homer was still kind of a jerk, but
yeah. But at least he did still care enough about his family. Though in the end, he did want his family back only because it only made him happy. But at least he was doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And and then everything's kind of resolves itself. Speech impediment. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do we go from here? Well, The Simpsons is still on the air, though there are a lot of people, and actually as of recently, I think a year or two ago, there were talks about that The Simpsons might be ending soon because I guess some of the actors had to take pay cuts from the TV company, from Fox, and and there are quite a few people wondering, like, oh, well, is the show going to continue? Is it going to stop? Is it going to get canceled? Is it going to get pulled? Well, it's still on the air. I don't know how well it's doing in popularity. I know, I think some critics have kind of had it, and I know a lot of and I certainly know a lot of the longtime fans, i.e. us, who started watching it as kids, have, kind of stopped.
We've kind of tapered off from it.
Yeah. I would still be tempted to try to watch a new episode just to see, like, is it still not very funny? Is it improved in any way? Probably not. But there is still that
I would
curiosity.
say in the popularity of Family Guy, probably not.
Yeah.
I think they've probably tried to make it too much like Family Guy.
Well,
that's my biggest fear anyway. I don't know if they actually have.
I don't think it's anything like Family Guy. At least I would hope not, because that would just
stupid.
That would just be awful.
Yeah.
Because I can recall, like, anytime there was ever a new animated television show that was, about to come on, everybody would always kind of think, like, Simpsons is, because that was a thing for a long time, was that The Simpsons was really the only primetime television cartoon show that had, managed to come on the air and be popular and be funny, and have heart and have character and be able to keep on doing that for this many years. Anytime any other new animated show, aside from South Park or Family Guy or whatever else has really come along, has been able to have
it kind of hung out there with them.
Has been able to have the heart and the gumption to be able to stick around. Nothing else really has, and which is kind of a shame, because there have been a few other shows, some that were actually created by ex-writers from The Simpsons that they did have some heart, had some pretty good humor, and had some pretty good writing to it, but sadly weren't really given very good chances. And I can name a few. Clerks, the animated series, was one. There was another cartoon show called, I own the DVD, called Mission Hill, that that aired on the WB, so nobody really saw it. I didn't see it for a couple of years until after it started airing on Adult Swim, and at the time I just thought, like, oh, hey, it's a new animated show that they're playing on Adult Swim. This show is actually pretty good. Why aren't they playing anymore? Oh, because this show originally aired in '98, and it got canceled after the first season.
Because no one was watching it.
Yeah, and which was a bit of a shame because it was actually a pretty good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like there are some of those shows. There are other shows out there that are just that were not very good. Yeah, I mean they weren't very funny. They tried being a little too wacky, or maybe I don't know. I can't really name all of them, but I know there were a lot of other shows. I know
Mhm.
there was one show for a while called God, the Devil, and Stan, or whatever it was,
Mhm.
where I forget exactly what the plot of it was.
Yeah, I think basically God wanted to let you stand to decide if he was going to destroy the earth or not.
Hmm. Now and
I only
like,
caught like a couple episodes on Adult Swim. That's why I only know that.
hmm and well, I don't really necessarily know whether that show was good or bad or not, because like I never really saw it. I did hear of it,
It was kind of so-so.
and my cell phone's going off. Great.
Of course it.
And hell, David Spade had a cartoon show in the mid to late '90s.
Mhm.
That was it was supposed to be about his life, and he did a lot of the voices for it. And God, it was terrible.
Mhm.
I remember I just really didn't like it. I know Hank Azaria had a short-lived animated show uh, of his own, and Hank Azaria was one of the guys who does a lot of the other voices for The Simpsons, of course.
Mhm.
I forget what the name of the show was, but it was about this guy who was always on the edge, constantly,
Mhm.
having to worry about his job, having to worry about his family, and all this. And at the end of the episode, uh, just from all of the bullshit that he was putting up with, he would kind of snap, but it would look like his spleen would like pop out of his body and then wrap around his neck and strangle him to death.
Mhm.
And I just remember the show. I remember watching an episode or two and being like, "This is this is this is horrible." I mean, I don't mean like horrible bad. I mean, this is like really really hard to watch. Like, I can't really find this funny. Like, it's like the whole time I'm sympathizing with the guy, and like everybody around him is just a complete and utter asshole.
Mhm.
And like unwilling to help or understand in any way, shape, or form. And it's just,
Mhm.
this is terrible. So, all right. So anyway, we had better wrap this up. That was our discussion on The Simpsons.
More or less.
Well, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good discussion.
Yeah. Give
One,
or take a few left turns here or there.
well, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean that's going to happen regardless, anyway.
Yeah.
One of, if not probably still the longest running television show in television history.
Mhm.
I understand that from the Wikipedia article they have won uh, they've won like 28 Primetime Emmy Awards, 30 Annie Awards, and a Peabody Award. I'm not entirely sure what an Annie Award or a Peabody Award is. An Annie Award is an American award for accomplishment in animation,
Hmm.
and a Peabody Award is a program named for business and philanthropists, recognizes distinguished and meritorious public service by radio and television station networks, reflecting excellence in quality rather than popularity. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I would certainly say a lot of the early Simpsons work
Yeah.
they did certainly accomplish that. Not
Yeah.
anymore, sadly. Not anymore.
Yeah. That happens when you get people who don't really care anymore.
Yeah, well, and
I
like,
think even the voice actors are just kind of like, can we just let this thing die already?
I know Harry Shearer, one of the other many voice actors, who also does the voice of, I believe he does the voice for Mr. Burns.
Mhm.
He kind of complained that like some of the most recent seasons have not been their greatest. Um, I wouldn't know because I stopped watching a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Are they? Well, I know there's a 2-hour time difference there, but I do wonder if they're on at all at the same time anymore, or hell, I don't know.
I don't think so. Like the odd time that I do look at like the Fox network here, it's usually on at around 10.
Okay.
Around here, so we'd probably put it around. It would put it around 8 where you're at.
Okay.
But very, very rarely is it actually on. It's not consistent.
Mhm. Yeah.
Which just kind of tells me, yeah, they really don't care anymore.
Well,
like,
and
they're not even putting out a weekly show like
well,
they used to.
Well, because I know Sunday nights Fox likes to do the animation Abomination or like whatever it was they were calling it for a while, where it's
Mm-hmm.
The Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, whatever other shows that they have on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where they show like all the new episodes is like every Sunday.
Yeah.
I would be tempted to sit down on a Sunday and actually try to watch a quote-unquote new episode of The Simpsons just to get a grasp of, has it improved? But I don't know. Well, anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you guys think in the comments section. Are you still a fan of The Simpsons? Did you stop caring maybe around the same time that we did, or perhaps a little bit after? Who are your favorite characters? What's your favorite season or favorite episode? And we will see you guys next time for another episode of I almost said for another episode of The Simpsons. No, we will see you
We're
guys
not
next
the
time.
Simpsons, Jordan.
No, we are not. Actually, here's a late question. Did you hear about the Simpsons house?
No.
There is an actual made Simpsons house. It's modeled after the Simpsons home, so it looks just like it.
Weird.
And you can go there and you can take a tour of the Simpsons house. If I could, I would love to do that sometime, actually.
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah. All right, well, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Once again, let us know what you think in the comment section, and we will see you guys next time for another episode of The Other People. Good night.
Good night, people. And remember, always wash your hands. Or something.
Yeah, that's it.